In a quiet town surrounded by dry hills and narrow paths, there lived a man who owned a single mule. The mule was not young. Its fur was rough, its legs carried old scars, and its eyes had seen many seasons pass. But what it lacked in beauty, it made up for in loyalty. Every morning before sunrise, the mule stood at the gate, waiting. No rope, no command, just waiting. The man would load heavy crates onto its back, wood, grain, tools, and the mule would walk without protest. Through heat that burned the skin, through roads that cut into the hooves, through days when even standing felt painful. Still, the mule walked, not because it was forced, but because it believed. The man often praised the mule in the beginning. He would pat its neck and say, "You're reliable. I can count on you." Those words mattered. They became fuel. The mule walked taller when it heard them, stronger, prouder. One afternoon, after finishing a long delivery faster than expected, the man laughed in surprise. He stood in the street, shook his head, and said, "If only people worked like you." That sentence echoed in the mule's heart. That night, as the man tied the mule near the shed, he spoke softly, "You make my life easier. I don't know what I'd do without you." The mule slept peacefully, not because it was full, but because it felt valued. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The work increased. The loads grew heavier. At first, the mule felt tired, but then it remembered the words, "I can count on you. I don't know what I'd do without you." So it kept going. Soon, the man stopped asking. He started expecting. He no longer checked if the load was too heavy. He no longer noticed the limp in the mule's walk. He no longer spoke kindly. Why would he? The mule always delivered. One morning, the man stacked more crates than ever before. The mule hesitated, just for a second. His legs shook. His breath grew heavy. But the man snapped, "Move!" So it did. The path that day was long and uneven. Dust filled the air. The sun showed no mercy. Halfway through the journey, the mule stumbled. Not because it was lazy, not because it was careless, but because it was exhausted. One crate slipped and fell, breaking open. The contents spilled onto the road. The man froze. Then his face hardened. "Unbelievable," he said coldly. "You had one job." The mule lowered its head. It waited, for understanding, for a reminder of all the times it never failed. But none came. Instead, the man kicked the fallen crate and muttered, "Useless." That word hit harder than any whip. They returned home in silence. No water was given, no food placed, no hand reached out. The mule stood alone, dust-covered, thirsty, confused. That night it didn't sleep, not because of pain, but because something inside it was unraveling. The next morning, the mule heard unfamiliar sounds, metal striking earth. Again and again, it followed the noise. Behind the shed, the man was digging a deep hole. Sweat rolled down his face, but his expression was firm. He spoke aloud, not knowing the mule was listening. "I can't keep a burden that creates losses. If it can't perform, it's better gone." The mule felt its legs weaken. After all the miles, after all the loyalty, after all the sacrifices, one mistake, and this was the reward. The mule didn't cry out, didn't run in panic. It simply stood there, absorbing the truth it had avoided for so long. To this man, loyalty was not a bond. It was a tool, and tools are thrown away when they break. The mule turned toward the open road. The gate had been left unlatched. Freedom stood quietly, waiting. Step by step, the mule walked away. Each step hurt, but each step also healed something unseen. The man never noticed. He was too busy digging a hole for something he never truly valued. The mule did not look back, because places that love you only for what you provide are not homes. They are cages disguised as comfort. Life teaches us this lesson in painful ways. You can give your best every day. You can sacrifice your time, your strength, your peace. And still, the moment you fail, some people will forget everything you gave. They won't remember the nights you stayed, the times you endured, the moments you carried more than you should have. They will only remember the one time you couldn't deliver. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you stayed too long where your worth was conditional. Loyalty is powerful, but blind loyalty can destroy you. Respect should not disappear the moment you stumble. And love should not be measured by usefulness. If someone only values you when you're strong, they don't deserve you when you're tired. There are hearts that see effort. There are hearts that see intention. There are hearts that see the full picture. And there are hearts that only see results. Choose wisely who you give your loyalty to, because loyalty given to the wrong place becomes self-betrayal. If today you feel unappreciated, unseen, or replaceable, it's not because you lack value. It's because you're standing in front of people who never learned how to value human effort. Walk away, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with dignity, because the moment you stop begging to be respected is the moment you begin to respect yourself.